Got an early video for Thursday's night football game between the Jets versus the Patriots. Not much of a primetime game, to be honest, with these two teams, maybe because of Aaron Rodgers. But the Patriots do have a great running back in the rise. We got Ramondre Stevenson, and he's going to be our first pick of the day. For him, you can take multiple props. You can take his rushing yards. You can take his receiving targets, fantasy score. I think he's going to get a touchdown, which you can take into his demons. You can see it's already a popular play. Receiving yards is a good dart. I personally like his rushing attempts, which I already took on my slip, posted it on my Discord. Rushing attempts is my top pick. You can go either with his rushing or receiving yards, would probably be my second pick, along with his fantasy score. But I like all these props for Ramondre Stevenson. He's been red hot the first two games. I don't expect nothing different against the Jets. They do have a rookie quarterback. I believe he's in second year in the league, but they're mostly in running game. So I think Ramondre will be a big part on their offense for New England if they stand any chance against the Jets. It's going to be a close game, but I think the Jets edge them out, but never know. So I'm going to take Ramondre Stevenson, one of these props. Personally, I'm going to be taking his rushing attempts. Most likely, I'll be taking his rushing and receiving yards on another slip, fantasy score, and his touchdown. Let's head on over to Breece Hall. He is our second pick. I already got some exposure on him. He was taco number 3 for Taco Tuesday, so I'm still waiting the outcome of that slip. The pair already hit. So hopefully Breece Hall comes through and gets those 49 yards. Hopefully he gets more. 64.5 rushing yards. You can see it's already a popular play. I think he's going to go over 65 yards. I do like his fantasy score. Daily Grind Fantasy does have it juiced under, though, at a 54% hit rate. So I'm going to fade his fantasy scores. You can see the last 5. Everybody's going to be targeting that to go over. Could go over. Obviously, past 5 he's gotten over, but obviously those 2 games from this season. I like his receiving targets at 5.5, and I do like his receiving yards, which is my top pick for him at 32.5. I believe he could have got this earlier in the week at 29.5. It's all the way to 32.5. So expect some of these bumps. This video is being posted the night prior. So hopefully you guys get this in. Rushing receiving yards is not bad, but these are the top 3 I like. Personally, I'll be taking receiving yards at 32.5. Rushing yards, I already have the exposure on the taco. Receiving targets would probably be my second top pick. If you want to play safe, you can take his gobbies. I believe his touchdown is a popular play. It's all the way up to 1.5 for a demon. I believe his gobby is the most popular, probably in the popular tab. 0.5, you can definitely get in the end zone. So you can see past 5 as well. Past 2 games this season, he's got one against some pretty good opponents, the 49ers and Titans. Patriots are obviously a lesser opponent, so you can definitely get in there. I honestly think Rodgers might have a good game. He's been pretty bad the past 2 games, but obviously he's coming off a major injury. But Breece Hall, Ramondre will be my top 2 plays. Third one I'll be targeting, it'll be Hunter Henry for the Patriots, tight end. Primary target for that rookie quarterback. I like his receiving targets. He's got an over 5, and last match he had 12 against Seattle. Obviously opening day he had 3, but he had 12. I think he's going to get half of that, which brings us to 6. But he had 12 against the Seattle Seahawks. He's definitely going to get at least 5 or 6. I think he's going to get 6. I have him projected to get 6. But this is a good prop on Daily Grind Fantasy. They do have it at 53% hit rate to go over. Plus, you got the push equity as well. But I definitely think he's going to get those targets. Probably more, to be honest. Fantasy score is good, but I'm going to go with the receiving targets. As you can see, if his receiving yards is already a popular play, he's going to be throwing to Hunter Henry. 4th prop I'll be taking is going to be actually a kicker, and that's going to be Joey Sly. And I'm going to be taking his kicking points or his field goals made. These are the 2 top picks for him. I personally took his kicking points just for the fact we do have push equity if it lands for 2 field goals, which will catch this prop. This will be push. But I actually think the New England Patriots should score a touchdown and has 2 field goals, which brings this up to 7 points. And he should cash this. So I'll be taking the over. Like I mentioned, I think Ramondre Stevenson should get into a touchdown, should give him an extra point. I do have him projected for both kickers to get 2 field goals, but I think Joey will definitely get those 2 field goals. So I personally, these two are the 2 favorites. Make sure you target that. Last one will be a sneaky prop, and I've been pretty good. I've been undefeated on the first half for this season for the past 2 games. One of them I included on my Latter Day Challenge. Actually, 2 of them, and they both cashed for me, is an NFL first half prop. And that's going to go with the New England's QB, Jacoby Brissett. And I'm actually going to be targeting his fantasy score at 4.5. This is probably one of the lowest I've seen it for a quarterback. You can definitely cash this. He hasn't had the great games the past 2 games, and he was still going over 5. So at 4.5, I think this should be at 5 or more. But at 4.5, definitely a good sneaky play. I might include that on my day 1 of the Latter Day Challenge. If it stays at 4.5, I'm definitely take it. You can see his first half. He's had almost 100 yards. So at 4.5, he gets a touchdown pass. This easily cashes. If he gets at least 80 yards, this should cash. Plus, he rushes yards, a couple of rushing yards. He's projected at 4.5. I think he can get more than that. He had one against Seattle, but opening he had 22. I think he can get somewhere in the 10-12 range against the Jets. I think it's going to even match. Obviously, we got Aaron Rodgers coming off a major injury, and then we got Jacob Brissett, rookie quarterback. So I'm going to be taking his fantasy score. Obviously, Aaron Rodgers 6.5 is another dart. You can target that as well. But I'm going to be taking Brissett at 4.5, and that is my sneaky play. And that rounds up my top picks. So Breece Hall, Ramondre Stevenson, Hunter Henry, Joey Sly, and Jacob Brissett will be my top 5 picks. So mix and match, pick your favorite. Gave her several options. One more prop I want to mention, which I already took. Honestly, don't forget about the college football play as well. Travis Hunter. This ends tomorrow morning. So make sure you got this. Get this in. If you're gonna target for an NFL prop, you can probably target for a Gabi, one of your favorite Gabis for NFL. But I personally took it for an NFL prop, and I'm gonna be taking the rushing receiving combo between Breece Hall and Ramondre Stevenson, and that is 128.5. Last season, Breece Hall had over 150 yards alone against the Patriots. Obviously, Stevenson is going to be the bulk of the rushing yards, since Breece Hall does it. He's a jack of all trades, receives, gets receptions, and top rushing attempt for the Jets. If you want to look at the rushing yards for both of them, Breece Hall at 64.5. He's at 67.5. He's been averaging the 60 range, so I'm projecting 60 for Breece Hall. And Ramondre's just been a monster this season. 120 and 81. Going against the Jets, I think he's going to regress just a tad bit, but at 67.5 is a bit too low. So right now, that rushing combo looks pretty good to me, and I'm going to include it with my discount at 128.5. So this will probably be my top pick for NFL tomorrow, which I already included with my college football square. So mix and match. Please don't forget about the Jacoby Brissett first half fantasy score. That is a sneaky play that people's overlooking. But these 2 props I really do like. Gave you plenty of options. Please like, subscribe, and comment. Appreciate the support. If you guys want additional slips from other platforms, I have a Discord. The link's in the description below.